Hey balls, how's it going? So this video is kind of like my take on the Dragonmaids and usually what I do. Of course, I'm not a top player. I'm not on Diamond 1 on with Dragonmaids on ranked, but I play them for like almost when they released. So, my take on the Dragonmaid is paired with the Invoker. You know Invoker, right? The Alistair, some normal summon Alistair meme, super good. In this event, he's kind of harder to use because he can't go into links, but I am complementing that with a lot of light hand traps, so I can make Mechaba later. But you are using the DPE package along with the super polymerization for disruption. It's valid too. It's because I don't have super polymerization and I don't want to craft it. Yeah, it's ultra rare. I don't have the points. So I am not using super polymerization. And there's another card you're using to facilitate DPE. I have the DPE package, but I think they're kind of bricky. Where is the thing? Oh, here it is. Yeah, he's an SR. I could craft him, but I don't really want to spend the points just because of the event. So let's start with the how the ratios. I like using one of the Nurse Dragonmaid. Um, it's usually what you're using, and she's usually a brick in the hand. You want her in the graveyard as soon as possible, so you can revive her and another one that is another one, another little one that is in the graveyard, and out of one special summon you get two when you go from there. So one is fine, and I really love the shiny version of the nurse. I actually spent a lot of rare points so I could get this version of her. But now we're going three ashes, yes. Two kitchens. I understand that you don't want to craft an additional one. I think it adds consistency. So you have a normal summon for the turn, but she's the one of the least valued dragon maids. Tree Parlor, she is great because she can put any other card, any other dragon maid card in the graveyard. Obviously, uh, you either put the big one of her or the red one, or you put if you're in a comfortable position, you put Nurse to do combos with her later or in that same turn, or you put a Tiding, so you can use Tiding's graveyard effect to revive another Dragon Maid from the graveyard or special summon from the hand and roll from there. Um, Chamber is good. She's even better if you have another Dragon Maid in the hand because you can call Hospitality and then you Hospitality your other Dragon Maid in the hand, sending to the graveyard her respectively dragon, so it facilitates your battle phase so you can tag out into the big dragon and you with hospitality you put the big dragon already so you can use her effect to put the fusion spell in the graveyard and go the battle phase. Depending on your position, you could um, you could fusion right away because Shout is a great monster for like she's an Omni Negate and she brings back this beautiful dragon girl. So you can tag out your little ones, blow up some monster in the field, She's great for monster destruction. If you can keep her on the field, right? Because she has no, she has no protection, so it's really easy to kill her with monster destruction effects. Even DPE can kill her. You cannot do anything to protect house, so be sure you have some backup plan to protect her and use her wonderful effect. If you have multiple little ones, you turn them into big ones and pop the field and go for the OTK. So the Ernest is a good one, so you can discard and special summon one little one from the hand to continue your combos. Um, I would say that too many of the big ones, um, they turn into a brick sometime because you get the big ones without the little ones are practically useless. And that's it. He's she she's a nice dragon. I used to, but I think she's kind of a brick at 3. I run Gamiciel for getting rid of any monster in the opponent's field. So I see you use a lot of droplets and impermanence, and that's fine as well. You shut them up. I prefer just to get rid of it. It's preference. I just they usually end up in a boss monster. Or one great use of Gamiciel is just getting rid of DPE. DPE is there. You just tribute summon it and it can't come back. It's great. The big one, I really like having the big one for when you need to push damage, additional damage. It's the reason I also have Alistair, because he works with any fusion. He can boost any fusion. So if I need an additional damage to keep House alive, or I need a little bit more damage to kill someone with Shout, I'll use Alistair. But that's the preference. I usually run Harpy's Feather Duster. I could run Twin Twisters, but I think back row is not really that important in this case, in this event. So just getting rid of like 2 back row is usually enough in a match. Invocation is the Alistair pack. This is a great card. Unfortunately, it's just once per turn, but it can bring back a maid, get her big form into the graveyard, play extensions is great. This is very useful as well. Like it's in the graveyard, you can bounce dragon, some dragon back to the hand, and get the field spell back. You could use if you can't wait till like the battle phase, and you want to use House's effect right away. You should tag out with this spell some little one, and if House's effect activates, then you can pop a monster. This, I think, it's a very, very underrated card for Dragonmaid because it boosts the attack, but the key factor is getting back one card every every of your turn. You can get back one card, one Dragonmaid card that is in the graveyard. You could get the big one, so you have material for Shao using the fusion. You could get the fusion and make house and then use the fusion's effect to just bounce back one Dragon Maid and use house and another Dragon Maid to make Shao right away if you don't have um, easy access to a big Dragon Maid. So I think this spell's great. I run one because usually more than one he becomes a brick, but I think when you usually, if you feel like you're in a comfortable position, you should search it with the chamber, and it's very useful. I usually run Called by the Grave because hand trap is a thing, and you don't want to be hand trapped. And I don't really have more points for cross out, so I usually have two Called by the Grave that I crafted. The first thing I crafted in the game was two of this bad boy, and he's helping me ever since. So, and then the one of the big playmakers of the deck is Dragonmaid Tiding. It's disruption on the opponent's turn, bouncing back a Dragonmaid, bouncing back a monster to the extra deck, getting rid of DPE if DPE used his effect on another monster and he can't tag out anymore. You can bounce DPE back to the extra deck. So that's really nice. And when it's in the graveyard, you can banish it to normal summon, to special summon a Dragon Maid monster to the field. It goes back to the hand in the end of your turn, or in the end of that turn, not necessarily your turn. And this effect triggers houses effect, and you can pop an additional monster from the opponent's side of the field. So one thing that I usually do is like since we're talking about this one, I sometimes I'm in an uncomfortable position. I normal summon Parlor, put this in the grave, use this to like summon this, and she's in the graveyard as well. So I summon. So I have three dragons. I get back some, and I trigger Kitchen's effect to get a dragon made monster into the hand and then discard another, or it most likely get it to the hand and put it in the graveyard. I really, she's the worst out of the, no, the worst out of the dragon maids is, it's our little Laundry sees no play. Poor Laundry, she's so cute, but unfortunately, she's the weak link. So poor Laundry. She's gonna become the next. I think there were leaks about her becoming a pet, a mate actually, and she transforms into her dragon version. And I'm absolutely gonna get that if it's not too expensive. I think it won't be, but uh, I, I'm going to buy. Maybe it requires paid gems, but I absolutely love the deck, so I'm gonna get it. So 43 cards, huh? Sometimes it's necessary. I think every single thing is relevant to the deck. So sometimes you just what you don't need, so you can get the stuff you need right away. I could get rid of Veilers, but then I wouldn't have as much fuel for Alistair. I could get rid of I don't know what is. I feel like every single thing here is necessary. So yeah, and the extra deck is just usually Alistair stuff, and the package of three houses and three Shao. You don't have three Shao, two Shao is perfectly fine. And let's play a little bit. There's a sample 5 card draw. Let's go. What could you do? You could normal summon Chamber, get the spell that special summons a Dragon Maid, special summon Parlor, get Parlor's Dragon into the graveyard, and put Tiding into the graveyard so you can get back your big dragon, use changeover and get a shell. And usually past turn you have a Veiler, so you have one kind of disruption. Unfortunately, no, no ash, but okay. Another draw. This hand, kind of a bad hand. You could, you could, you could normal summon Parlor, get her big version into the graveyard and pray they don't have something better. You set tidy, so you have a disruption. Or you could normal summon Alistair, but you don't really have much you could do with Alistair in this case. So yeah, so it's kind of a bad hand. This is absolutely wonderful hand. You could make Shao right away with invocation. It usually works with any fusion if the material is in the hand. Or you could normal summon Kitchen, get Parlor, put Parlor into the graveyard, um, bring back Parlor Hospitality, Parlor put the spell into the grave, you bounce Parlor, and you make Shao, and you have Kitchen into the graveyard. Next turn, Shao brings back Parlor, and you do wonders from there. What is +1? Oh, it's getting cards and cards and cards. So, okay, this hand's terrible. you can you can normal summon Nurse, and you can tag out if they don't destroy Nurse. That is, yeah, that's it. Uh, this hand this hand's very good. You could Parlor to get the um, the fusion spell into the graveyard, bounce back Parlor, summon or yeah, summon Shao next turn, bring back Parlor, or even um, special summon Kitchen too to get maybe Nurse into the graveyard. So with Shao, you normal summon, you special summon Nurse, and Nurse special summons another one, and you go from there. You just usually have three little dragons, um, three little dragons plus Shao into the graveyard, into the field. Wonderful. This hand's crap. Let's see. Let's see. What could you do? You could make Shao right away, but you usually you want to normal summon Parlor to get something else in the grave. I think it would be nice to get Nurse, and then you make Shao, and then you Hospitality Nurse to bring back Parlor. But then again, you don't have anything for you waste Parlor's effect. I mean, you waste Shao's effect. No, you keep. Um, I don't know. I don't know. Just I think you can put Nurse into the graveyard and go from there next turn with Shao. And I think that's it on the sample cards. So I wanna show you with a bot. So what can you do with this? You do this to get the. Oh wait, what can I? Oh yeah. No. Oh yeah. Oh, you get the fusion. You summon your Parlor now. Get your dragon into the grave with Parlor. put the trap into the graveyard, trigger trap, summon your big Dragonmaid, make shell using those two, and next turn you shell for chamber. You have two disruptions in hand. You don't need changeover now, so I don't think you need to bounce Parlor. And in the standby phase, you bring back Chamber. And I usually get Hospitality for next turn, so I can have at least one Dragonmaid in the hand. I'm gonna stop this with Ash. Disruption. And now he passes. More disruption. Yes. I bring back this bad boy. I bring him back. And now I fusion for another shell. No. I fusion for house. House's effect is going to be useful now. Oh, I kind of a misplay there, but that's okay. I could have used chamber to fuse for house. Um, well, if you want to overkill, could just do now. Parlor, you trigger Parlor to get another big Dragonmaid into the graveyard, and now be happy and attack for game. You tag out, so your big Dragonmaids can go in. You trigger house to get rid of the monster, face down so he can't flip if it's a flip monster. And now you have game. With a one disruption from Shell in case he has something in the hand. And that's usually how it goes. It's much harder when you actually have an opponent, a competent opponent. But it's how it goes. Forgot to say something about something about something. So there's one more Dragonmaid trap, huh? Dragonmaid. There is. Let's see. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Downtime. I usually don't put downtime. I usually put downtime in that, like, if you feel like the meta is full of back row, so it can bounce back row back to the hand or get access to another Dragonmaid. But usually she's a trigger for house if you need it. But I don't really consider it a very good draw usually, so I don't put it in my deck most of the time. But that's just preference. And I think that's it. Um, I might make a second part if you're interested in Dragon Maids in the ranked ladder, so you can take advantage of her links.